Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode, what is this, 5? Another fresh episode of Unhinged Christian. Corey is so Today, actually I want to start by once again thanking everybody for all the love and support and all of the things that all of the love and stuff that I've been receiving over the past few weeks. Most of it from strangers, but no shade, no tea. Love is love, and I'm appreciative of it all. Hmm. So, this week's episode is titled Faithfully Frustrated. Because y'all, you be asking God for stuff and He gonna send you a test. He never gonna send you exactly what you ask for. He send you a test, an aptitude test, to make sure you're even ready for what you're asking for. And as much as I love the big God, it just be feeling so trifling, these types of tests that he be doing. Baby, why do you have to treat me like this? He is taking me by the last hair on my head and dragging me to see if I'm even ready or worthy of what I'm asking for, which in the end, I'm very appreciative of because we all love good character development for sure. But everything happens for a reason. Anyway, I digress. I didn't even do my intro. Hold on. Boom, 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 boom. Welcome to another episode of Unhinged Christian, featuring me, your hostess with the mostest, Asia Janae. I miss y'all. I feel like it literally has only been a week, but it just feels like so long since I talked to y'all. So much has happened. So let's jump right into it. Topic one, we're gonna try to figure out together how to navigate remaining faithful to God and His plan over our lives. Sorry, I can't talk today. Especially, especially when we don't understand it. Cause baby, God be doing His big one. Okay, He be doing it. But sometimes the way, not even sometimes, actually, this is a 10 out of 10 moment. The way God goes about operating in our lives is almost on purpose for us to not understand it so that we remain faithful in His work and in His process. Like, and just faithful to Him. Because if we did understand it, then we'd have no reason to believe in Him the way that we do. So, believing Him and being faithful to Him blindly is the test. Like, that's tea. That's the gag. That's really the whole thing. That's why He tests us the way that He does, because He wants us to trust Him. He wants to have our trust. He wants to have our understanding, our loyalty. But if He gives us the answers, then there's no reason to study. Word, I'm starting off early today. I can definitely resonate with this because, and I think anybody can, but just like constantly being tested for the things that we've asked for and not really having that understanding or that willingness to endure the test with grace and with enjoyment. Like, or it's a test, it's like you would think it's not an open book test, like a pop-up exam that's worth 40% of your grade, closed book, no notice. That's how those tests be feeling, when really it's always, when it comes to God, it's always an open book test. He always is going to equip you with the answers. He's going to equip you. Yeah, I said that wrong. He's not going to equip you with the direct answers, but he's going to equip you with the study God always, so that you have the answers. So you have the means to attain the answers. Um, so really a lot of that frustration come for us not studying. Us not, us not using the study guide and expecting to get 100 on the exam. Negative. That's not gonna happen. There's a lot of times where like God is working in our lives and we don't quite understand it. And instead of trying to meet Him at a place of understanding or like taking some time with God to understand Him, we just get frustrated because we feel as though, God, we're doing everything that you ask of us or that you ask of me or us. Like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm getting up, I'm reading my Bible first thing in the morning, I'm journaling, I'm talking to you, I'm praying, I'm fasting, and you still feel like your world is crumbling down. Like, dang, it's like I can't do nothing right. When you go to God and you ask Him for things, He's going to send you a test, maybe a few tests, because you might fail that first one. If you don't fail your first test, good on you, because I think everybody is failing that first one. I don't know nobody that's tens across the board on a test that God sends. But if you, hey, you might be out there. Shout out to you, baby, because I'm already knowing that first test is a dud. I'm just on here to see what the questions look like, so I know how to prepare for the next one. But yeah, there are times where we are tested purely to remain faithful, but that does not negate the frustration that comes along with it. And this is probably one of my favorite topics because it's teaching people, it taught me, I'll say that, it's teaching, actively teaching me that it is okay to be upset with God and frustrated with God and still be faithful to Him. You may not like His plan, you may not like His test, you may not like the way He operates, or not even not like it, just not understanding, and that frustrates you. These things can exist equally. You can be frustrated and faithful. Those two things definitely go hand in hand a lot more times than we realize. You can be like, God, this is pissing me off. I don't understand it. The timing of this is terrible. Like, why does this have to happen right now? You can go so far as to question God. Be that as it may, you still can remain faithful. You still can open that Bible up. You still can pray. You still can journal. You can still do your daily devotions and be upset with God. And that is okay. I think for me, this point, this topic is for me to drive home that it is perfectly fine to be frustrated with God and not feel guilty about it because you have feelings. And it is important that we validate how we feel with God so that we know how to navigate that frustration while still being faithful. So you can't just get mad and then be like, I'm never reading my Bible again. Like that's the test. And unfortunately for you, you failed. But you can always get back up and try it again. It is okay to be frustrated because we're humans and we're supposed to feel. The test in that frustration is remaining faithful while frustrated. And a lot of times, ooh, child, God, He gonna do it. He gonna test you. When your parents be saying you getting on my last nerve, I be feeling that way about God. I be like, look, sir, look, big homie, you done sent me about 13 tests this month. You on that nerve. I don't even have it left. What are we doing? What's tea? Why are you going so hard? Like it's okay to have those feelings and have those questions, but also follow them questions up with some research. He give you the study guide. You ask him all these questions. You not understanding the test, but you also, and not even just you, we not understanding the test, but we also not taking the time to look at the study guide and understand where the test is deriving from. I'd be frustrated too if I'm getting slapped and pieced up with all these tests and I never seen the material and I'm expected to pass. What? Boy, if I dropped that class. First day. First day you hit me with a test and I don't even know how, or I don't even know this material, even though I have the references for it, but I don't know the material, I'm leaving. Because it's an easy thing to do. And in times like that, it's so what's the word I want to use? It's just easier to do the easy thing and leave. It's so easy to abandon something that challenges you because it's hard and people don't want to do things that are hard. Everybody, we coming up in the microwave generation for real. If I can't have it when I want it, how I want it, and the way that I want it, the style that I want it, I won't deal with it. And in some ways, that has benefited us, but it's made us so short tempered that we're using it everywhere. And that attitude and that mentality is not applicable everywhere. Like you have to have patience when it comes to God. You have to be resilient when it comes to your relationship and your walk with God and your journey with God because He's not gonna microwave that thing for you. He got one of them. Oh, you know how like the cars they be push to start. God is like a Cadillac, like a '68 Cadillac. You gotta warn. You can't just get in the car and pull off and expect your car to last. No, 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 no. You got to check all your fluids. You got to start the car, warm it up. That's that start the car, walk back in the house and make breakfast and eat and then come back out. And then you could pull off smoothly and your car will have longevity as opposed to the push to start. You hop in the car and pull off in 20 seconds and then be wondering why your alternator, carburetor, air filters, everything just falling out the car, just falling out, engine done fell out. Because you're not taking proper care, you're not taking the proper steps to ensure the longevity of your vehicle. Same thing with your walk and your relationship with God. If you do not take the steps to solidify your foundation with God, you can't expect for it to last. Or you can't expect for it to yield any like real reward because you don't it's not popcorn. You're not finna just put in and get out in 30 seconds. Mm, but that's last week's risk and reward episode. You're not finna just put in a little and expect a lot back. That's not how God works. That's not how life works. So we also find frustration with that because of, social media and all that stuff. Everything's so quick. You get instant gratification, Wi-Fi real fast. Boy, I'm knowing these kids coming up after us. And I say us, I'm like mid 20s, later 20s. The generation behind us, they would have never last with dial up AOL. That wouldn't have worked for them, baby. They would have lost their mind, pulled their hair out. Because y'all had to wait an extra 5 minutes for the computer to dial up for your internet to work. And don't let you be at your Grammy house and she don't have no internet. Now you playing solitaire all day and you losing it because you ain't got no Wi-Fi. So, but that's my tidbit on that. That's that on that. Yeah. You could be frustrated with God and you can remain faithful. How that looks for you is going to be very different from how that looks for me. But the two can coincide and they can coincide without you feeling guilty about how you feel. Because a lot of us, especially like in the Black community, we do not get our feelings validated growing up. It's you ask your mom something, it's because I said so. It's what you crying for. You don't need to do all that crying. It's a very dismissive culture. It's a very shut up and obey culture, like just because I said so. And how you feel is you're pretty much trained to put how you feel to the side. And taking that into your relationship with God, it's like you start to build resentment because you don't understand what it is that's going on and how you feel about it has never been validated. So that's what you're accustomed to. So you go into any new journey, any new walk, any new relationship being accustomed to being dismissed or how you feel being dismissed or how you feel being invalidated constantly. So it's hard to come to a place where you're like, I feel this and I don't feel bad about feeling it. Walking with God is like you feel these things and He will empower you to feel how you feel and still grow in Him. That's that love. That's that unconditional love He talk about. Like you can be mad at God. You can be mad. I feel like I need to say that like 45 times. You can literally be mad at God. It is okay. If what He did to you or does, I'm going to say did, what He does to you and in your life doesn't evoke some type of emotion, then that needs to be checked. Your heart need to be checked. The temperature need to be checked because He's doing things to move you closer to Him. So when God is constantly checking your temperature and you ain't budging, it's like, oh, you're not genuinely here to get closer to me. Oh, not you here for show. Not you here because it's trendy and it look good and it sound good, or not you here because everybody in your family expects you to be. Yeesh. Yeah. So make sure that when you're on your walk with God, that is genuine to you and who you are. Like, it's not, I'm not, I think I've said this before. The people who get on this platform and they're like, everything is peaceful and it's graceful with God, and that's their platform. And I'm not here to dismiss it. Um, I'm just doing what I feel is genuine to me. And I'm gonna get on the internet and say, yes, God do be pissing me off. Yeah, he don't give me what I want all the time, even when I feel like I deserve it. But that's ego. So that's canceled. He sometimes does things or makes me get rid of things or people that I'm not ready to get rid of. And that frustrates me because I'm comfortable and I'm complacent and I want to have what I want, how I want it. To cancel. Like, but this is the only way I know how to relay that message. But all I know is one thing for sure, two things for certain. God don't do nothing. He gonna turn your life upside down to bring you home. He's not gonna subtly, oh, look at this. Aisha, look at this. Look at how I can do this. No, God gonna wreck it. He gonna wreck it, baby. He's going to knock all that stuff off of the shelf. But he also gonna be there with you to help you reorganize it the way it's supposed to be. So that way how you're doing things are aligned with how he needs you to get them done. Ugh, a word. I'm really eating today, y'all. Sorry. I had a little moment. But yeah, all in all, it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be frustrated with God. You could be frustrated and faithful at the same time. He can piss you off and you can still open that Bible up and look for the answers and look for some type of console in the chaos. God is here to console us in the chaos that He invokes over our lives. That is the whole part. That's tea. That is tea. If you're looking to be consoled for why everything is falling apart, go in your word and talk to God. He's going to show you. He's going to be like, hey, I did this. I removed this person from your life. If you flip the Proverbs, I'll show you why. If you read the story of Ruth, I'll show you why. Or the book of Ruth, sorry, I'll show you why. I'll show you. But if we neglect to use the reference material that God has provided to us, then we'll forever be frustrated. It'll be a cycle. And it's like when do we get tired of living in that hamster wheel of God don't ever give me what I want. Ugh, but I love him. But he don't give me what I want. So I'm gonna fall off with him. But I love him. He did this great thing. And that's another thing. We love God when he moving mountains for us. But don't let him take away your favorite person. Mm. Don't let him take away that ex that's been in your life for 5 years with no promise of ever really trying to be with you, but just want to keep you around for comfortability because they know that they can count on you to be there for them, even when they've done nothing to be there for you. Mm. Don't let God be trying to remove you from your mama that has enabled you to be anything you wanted to be on an unhealthy spectrum. And now that you're out in the real world, you got to act and navigate as an adult, and everything is constantly falling apart. Huh. God go in there and mix some stuff up. He the pot stirrer. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. God is the messiest person I know. He is so messy. But the difference between him and like the rest of the world is that it has a good and pure core and intent. We may not get it, especially when it's happening. We will never understand. God, why would you do this to me? To me. You do this to me? We don't get it when it's happening, but on the other end of it, if you do remain faithful and you make it to the other end of the chaos after you found that peace or been consoled by him and his word, then it's like, oh, that makes so much sense. It's always an aha moment when it comes to God. He plays much, if you ask me. But that's that. Yes, we could be frustrated. Yes, we could be faithful. No, you don't have to feel guilty because how you feel is valid. It always will be. And we're back with topic two. Rolling into topic two. Making time to appreciate God when everything is going good, not when everything is falling apart. That's it. That's the tweet, baby. Making time for God is so important. I strive to not be what I call a 7-Eleven Christian, showing up to refill when I'm on E. So showing up to God, showing up to church, showing up for God only when I need something, and then being on my way until I need to be filled again. This is something I use in my personal life so heavy. If you've ever heard me say this not 7-Eleven, you're probably a guy who thinks they can just pop up whenever they want, oh, I love you, I miss you, da da, when we gonna be together, when we gonna figure this out. And then you fall off the face of the earth for 3 months. Yeah, no, this not 7-Eleven. I'm not here to stroke your ego. I'm not here to make you feel better about yourself. I'm not here to give you a warm and fuzzy. That's not fair. That's very unfair. To be treated like a convenience store? Are you kidding me? So take that. You feel that animosity when I said that? Take that and apply that to God. Why? How do you think that makes God feel about you? And given that He has these malice filled human emotions that we have, these flesh like emotions, and He's like, dang, you only showing up for me when it benefit you. Dang, dang. The beautiful thing about God is that you can be that way and He's still gonna love you. He's still gonna appreciate that you showed up even then. I don't know anybody like that. I'm sorry. I don't know anybody that's going to constantly let you pop up in their lives when it's convenient for you, when it benefits you, and then disappear until you need more benefits. There's no love like God's love. So, how do we make time for God to show Him on a consistent basis that we love Him, we appreciate Him in the good and in the bad? How you show up for God when things are falling apart, when you down, praying hard, crying, tears, snotty nose, needs to look exactly how you're coming to God when everything is going good. I firmly believe those things should not look different because you have to think like God did not have to give you that opportunity that blessed you so much. In the same token, God took those things away from you in order to bring you closer to Him. So when you behind on the bills, when that rent is due, when that man don't love you, when that woman don't love you, when your kids is acting up, when your husband don't want to be your husband no more, when that job laid you off, all of those things, you know how the list just goes on. When your health is depleting, when your mental health is depleting, this list is never ending. But also on the flip side, that list of blessings is even longer. If that list of problems and fallacies is long, is infinite, think about the blessings that God has for you and how long that list is. Because I don't know how you get longer than infinity. So, yeah. But I think making time, I don't think, I mean I do think. Okay, y'all. I know that making time for God is important not only to reap benefit from him, but to bring structure in your life and in your household, whether it's just you, whether it's you and them kids, whether it's you and that man, whether it's whoever, making time and incorporating God in your life in small ways that eventually grow into bigger ways is what matters. It's not that you show up to church every Sunday. Anybody can do that. That does not solidify the genuineness. I think, hold on, sidebar. Y'all, I think I created a word like 2 episodes ago, genuinity. I tried to look that up. I'm gonna look it up right now, actually, because why nobody, I know y'all listened to the episode and y'all didn't tell me that wasn't a word. That actually hurt my feelings. Not really, because I stay making up a good word, but goodness, genuinity. Oh, it is a word. Not me thinking I created it. Oh, okay. This is genuinity. Genuinity. Baby, that word whooped me. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Showing up in a space that's going to make you appear as socially acceptable on the Christian side, but lacks genuine connection is the equivalent of not showing up at all. So good on you that you put on nice clothes, you laid them edges, you got that tape up to go to church on Sunday. Snaps and claps. But does how you show up for God only apply on Sundays? Or are you making time for Him? Because if that were the case, what if God treated you like that? What if God only showed up for you on Sundays? He only showed up in your life when you came in the church house. Then it's like, oh, why is God being this way? Why da 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 da? God will never show up for you how you show up for Him because we as humans are so flawed that we are bred to operate in a benefit system. So I'm only going to show up for things that benefit me, not that benefit anyone else. If it doesn't benefit me, then I have no reason being there. Is that a valid statement? Yes. Is that a way to live my life with Christ? You have to think everything you do with God in congruence with God is going to benefit you. Now, what people lose themselves in is them wanting it to benefit them, it being their relationship with God, their walk with God, them wanting their time with God to benefit them the way they want and the way they see fit, as opposed to how God intends to. And that's why people stop showing up because they're not getting the results that they want, that they thought showing up with God, showing up for God consistently would yield for them. So now it's like, oh, I don't want to be here. I'm not getting the results that I wanted. And in that, you miss so many blessings because you're so focused on your tiny desire that is blocking you from the promised land. If you think your desire is the end all be all, you're gonna pass out as soon as God show you what He got for you. You're gonna drop. Y'all ever seen side note again? When on Love and Hip Hop, Carly Red be getting proposed to and she just fall out. That's how you gonna fall out. That's how you're going to fall out because what God has for us is so much bigger than we can imagine that everything that He's taken us through, every trial and every tribulation, is to mentally prepare us to be receptive to a blessing so big and be in a space that has enough space to accommodate what He's trying to give us. If I'm going to Him with this little idea and I'm holding on to this, because in my mind and with my knowledge alone, this the biggest thing ever happened to me. This the best thing that happened in my life. And I'm not ever deviating from this. I'm never deviating from this plan because this is what I want to do. This is not what God called me to do. This is what I want. What I want is a grain of sand on the beach of what God has for me. Same thing for y'all. If we understand how microscopic our desires are to in comparison to what God has already laid out for us, boy, we be working it. We be what? What? We will be bending over backwards to make sure that everything we did was anointed by God, that everything we do, everything we say is in His favor and within His will. And you never work outside of the will of God because we what we fail to realize is the harder we work outside the will of God, the further away we are from what He has for us, the further away we are from that breakthrough, from that being blessed. Nothing, you should not even want anything that is outside of the will of God. That's some scary stuff. Because I don't know how it got here. And now I don't know how long it's going to stay. What they say, fast money ain't good money. It's the same thing. Fast blessings ain't good blessings. They may benefit you right now. What's that blessing going to do for you 10 years down the road? 10 days down the road? It might be a burden in glitter. If we do not root ourselves and plant our seeds with God and tend to them and water them and show up for Him the way He shows up for us, we'll never reap the benefits of anything. Of anything. And the things that you do get will be on borrowed time. So yeah, you got the job, you got the house, you got the car, you got the husband, you got the dream life, and you did it all without God. Look at you. Look at how you finna take all that away. Or look at how he's gonna let that be all the success you ever see in your life, all the success that your children ever see. Look at how he will cap you out. He will cap your life and your bloodline out exactly where you're comfortable. Ooh, ooh. In order to be within God's will and consistently work with Him and for Him, you have to be in so many uncomfortable situations to prepare you to be comfortable in the space that God created in His house for us. Hmm. I don't ever want to be too comfortable because that's the calm before the storm. If I'm always uncomfortable, then I'm always prepared. I'm always ready. I'm always on my toes for whatever God got coming for me next because I'm never in a space where I can, not to say that I can't breathe and I'm stressed out, but it's just I'm ready and I'm prepared as opposed to, oh, well, I'll just, yeah, I'm good right here. This all I need, God. This all I need. Child, you block them blessings if you want to. Make time for that man. Show up for God how he show up for you. Watch how he changed your life. Watch how he improved your life. Your life ain't even got to drastically change, but it will. Messing with God, I told you he messy. He'll turn your life upside down just to bring you right on home to glory, right where everything you prayed for is at. But he got to do it his way and not ours. We got to do it his way and not ours. And as soon as we abandon that thought that everything we do has to be done our way, we'll be okay. But you can only get to that end of the race, and I want you to say end, but that part of your marathon with God by starting at the starting line. Make time for him. Show up for him. That's the start. Everybody, but I'm on my journey with God. I'm walking with God. That is where the walk begins. Making time for God, spending time with God on your own consistently. That's like saying I'm a run a marathon, but I'm never gonna train for it and expect to not be hospitalized. Nasty work. But yeah, so those are my topics this week. I enjoyed speaking on these things. I missed y'all so bad. So bad. I'm gonna close this out with a prayer. And make sure before I get there, thank y'all for listening. I love y'all. Also, share the podcast. Share it. I ain't making no money off of the song. Not that I don't care, but the people need to hear this stuff. The folks need to hear it. Okay, I know some of y'all in here go to church. Drop the link at church to your folks. It's some people at work that love the Lord. Hopefully, um, share it with your cousin who don't feel comfortable going to church because they don't feel like nobody can relate to them. Share, share, share. This ain't no like or subscribe. I'm not making no money off of y'all. It's free. It's free 99. Share this dang on podcast, nah. I got things to say. But no, let me close this out with prayer for real. I'm stop playing. Thank you, God, for once again bringing us back here another week in this space, sharing your light, your love, your message, and everything that you have to give to us in abundance. Give to me to share with people. I appreciate you for trusting me with this gift, with this responsibility. And I hope that everybody that is listening and to the people that are not are covered in your blood and your mercy and your love and navigate the rest of this week as you see fit. In your name we pray. Amen. Okay, y'all. Bye.